Irregular Nation, welcome to the Irregular Speed Force. I know you've been here once before, but now we're doing it for the actual review of Flash Drive. Yes, The Flash. I finally saw it. Alright, yeah, we're just chilling right now in the Speed Force, the Irregular Speed Force. Are we in a speed bubble? No, we're not in a speed bubble. No, we're not. Hopefully you can see the Batflick, Flash, and Keaton Batman toys right here. These statues, yeah, they're pretty, I must say. But let's get ourselves out of the Speed Force, put some background on, and get into this review. Let's do it. We gotta move Keaton over here because he's a little bit large. Okay. So, all in all, did I hate The Flash? No, not at all. Was it the best comic book movie ever? No, not at all. Best thing since sliced bread? No. Does it have rewatchability? Yeah, it does. Do I need to go see it in the theater again? Absolutely not. It's not that style of rewatchability. Did it have wonky VFX? Most definitely. I wouldn't say wonky as more as either it was unfinished or they just went to the well one too many times and changing stuff. Was the acting poor? No, it really wasn't. Thought Ezra Miller did a great job of acting as one Barry Allen as the elder statesman and the other being an adolescent spaz. So, you know, he did a good job in that. Keaton, oh my God, we will get to Keaton. He did not miss a beat when it came to Batman at all. Loved his presence on screen. He looked great in a suit. The action sequences, obviously we know that's not him. Then, when it came down to Affleck, so hopefully you guys can see all these statues right here. If not, sorry, go watch the shorts. The fact that, what, Kels?
Toy shows.
Oh, the toy shows, yeah, you can go watch the toy shows. That is correct. All these were on the toy shows, the Irregular toy show. Good plug. So, Affleck, was this his best Batman performance ever where he figured out the character for his intro scene? No. Did he have a cool scene? Yes. Was it interesting to see Batman operating during the day? Yeah. Did certain shots not look great at times? Yes, but was I checked out of the movie when it came to everything that everybody was bitching about in this? No, I didn't check out of the movie once. Though, you know, like the whole saving the babies scene, like when they're falling out of the windows and all that, and everybody, like, they said that Andy Muschietti Spaghetti said that the VFX, like why it looked distorted at times, this and that, it was Barry's perspective. Nah, bullshit, dude. No. I think it just, unfortunately, this movie went through so many changes at times that you just probably didn't have time to refine the VFX the way it needed to be. I don't know. I have no idea. Because at times it looked fine, and at other times you're like, ooh, what did you do? But, like I said, all in all, it's a comic book movie. And it's outrageous. And it's a guy that runs at Mach speeds. How are you going to have a human run at Mach speeds? It's going to look silly at times. Yes, it will look silly. But when it came down to it, I still love the sound of the whoosh when he would take off. When he went into his, like, fast mode, his flash mode, and you saw everything kind of stretch, that looked good. But it always didn't look, it almost looked, basically, I think where they went wrong when it came to VFX, I guess you could say, would be color palette. Maybe you had to desaturate it a little bit, where it was a little too vibrant in color. The suit looked good. I remember making fun of the fucking suit when you saw the helmet. Everything looked good. It was fun to watch the Flash live action in a big blockbuster style movie, in a popcorn movie. I don't know, like when it came down to the plot itself, the fact that the ending was changed 3 times because of, obviously everybody knows the narratives that go with this movie. Yeah, we were supposed to get an ending that had Keaton as your Batman going forward, which I remember all of us bitching and moaning like, how the hell is Keaton going to be the Batman going forward when you have Ben Affleck and... But then when you saw Keaton's performance in it, and we'll get to something quick, he delivered on every level. He killed it. I mean, he remembered how to play his Bruce Wayne. He remembered how to play his Batman. Everything just worked perfectly. Would I have done a different Batman? No, not at all. Not at all. I loved it. Now, for people that went to view it, like when I saw the movie, I saw a father with a couple younger girls, his daughters, and they looked like 8 and 10, around there. And after the movie was over, they're like, that was awesome. So, don't forget, this movie is geared toward younger audiences. So, like, overgrown man babies that were crying about so many different things, even the ladies out there, too, the overgrown lady babies out there of the Nerdverse. Seriously? What are you crying about? Yes. Was there a plot hole in the device of that fact that the Reverse Flash? No, you never knew who actually killed Barry's mother. Now, for the fact that people that follow the comic books and all that shit, they know it was Earborn Dawn. Yes, of course. Duh. Now, that was changed. Okay. I will say that is a point of the movie, like when you get to the end of it, like the end, and his father's released, there's no climax. There's no real emotion with that. While during the movie, you felt the emotions of Ezra with his, like Barry with his mother, younger Barry with the mom, like the whole family like that whole aspect, you felt that. And then you felt the emotions between the two Barrys and his struggle for what he was doing. Everybody acted well in this, but then when you got to the climax and it was changed, you could tell it was changed, you're like, alright, so yeah, is it a great movie? God, no. It's a freaking comic book movie. But did it give you laughs? Did it give you heart? Did it give you entertainment? Did you laugh? Yes. So therefore it gave you something. Then everybody talks about the box office nonsense. Well, yeah, if you show this movie 2 months, 3 months, whatever, everybody's getting advanced screenings and going to all this, and then putting out spoiler reviews after, you're hurting your movie. Yeah, you're not going to do that great opening weekend because every Momo that you should have just said, no, screw you, you're gonna see it when it comes out. They did panic marketing for this because it was an over-marketed movie. I will say that. I remember doing tons of shorts that I exposed that, and I'm like, oh my god, do we need to keep getting extensions of the scenes that you just saw? There's no way there's more context to this scene. So you're showing full-on scenes. You're showing Ben Affleck in Ezra Miller's scene where they're talking and he wants to go back and save it. And he's talking about, the time paradox, blah, 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 blah. So you show that. You're marketing it where you think Keaton right here, and I'll hold him up just in case anybody can't see him, Keaton is going to be this main component to the movie. No. The main component to the movie is Flash. But the way you're marketing it and showing all these trailers, you think Supergirl, Sasha Calle's Supergirl is going to be this main thing. Now, no. If people know the Flashpoint story, the Superman that's in that universe isn't a big part of anything. Everybody dies. No matter what Flash does. So they followed that standpoint. No matter what Flash did, everyone died. Now, where it did change, where everybody was upset, was instead of it being Michael Keaton's Batman because they scrapped Batgirl movie and he was supposed to be the Batman mentor for her, look, when you see Keaton in this movie, you actually wish that they stuck to that because Keaton could have continued with this. It would have been great. But everybody was, Batfleck, yeah, he's totally gone. He's erased. George Clooney comes in at the end. So Barry, at the end of the day, goes back to the wrong universe again because he keeps screwing shit up. And it's George Clooney as Batman. And we remember that Batman. Oof. So he's in, but is that the Batman going forward? No. And I saw a bunch of people bitching and moaning about that. No. That's not Batman going forward. They gave you an ending that had no ending. Technically. Because you're not going to see Ezra Miller back as the Flash. You're not going to see Ben Affleck back as Batman. You're not going to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. Because they killed those. No matter what happened, they were all gone. So they're rewriting history with that. So at the end of the day, it was kind of like false marketing in a way. They're saying this, they're saying that about it. You automatically should have known that this was the end of the DCE. We're dropping the vowel, we're going to the EU, but it was the DCEU. And then you still got Aquaman 2 coming, you don't need that. You got Blue Beetle, no one gives a fuck about that. And if this movie wasn't shown to every YouTuber and critic out there months in advance, then you would have made that opening box office weekend that you needed. Because the movie does provide entertainment. I know that you saw people calling it a trash movie, but it's not a trash movie. It's just not. It's not. Now, let's get to that Speed Force. Look, Speed Force choice was interesting, right? When they're in that, dome of, it looks like stairways, and you're seeing and everybody's talking about the CGI. Look, you could have easily done real clips and put the real clips of whatever universe you wanted to show. You chose not to do that. I mean, fuck, CW did that with, their Flash. When he's running through the Speed Force and you saw real clips, so that was questionable. Yes, you got that the terrible looking 3D, 4D images, but you saw Christopher Reeve CGI and Supergirl CGI from the 80s. You got George Reeves, you got Adam West. They were doing that. Now, when the universes were collapsing, I'm watching it. I'm like, I didn't care for the CGI choice that they did. Whether how rushed this was or not, you could tell that there were certain scenes that were changed. You could tell the bringing back of Ezra and the George Clooney scene where you could see that he wasn't even there. That was green screen. Whatever. But that's what happens when these movies go through 20 million changes because of dumbass exec choices, this, that, the other, whatever. But when all those worlds were colliding right at the end, you were like, okay. To me, the best cameo, and I know it might not have looked great at a certain point when they still shot, but I thought it was the best one, was the Nicolas Cage from Superman Lives that never got off the ground, that was connected to Keaton's Batman, that was Kevin Smith's freaking story, and you see him fighting the Spider Brainiac, and I thought that was really cool, and he turned around, and I'm like, yeah, that was the best one. The Jay Garrett thing I didn't understand, and I will say, what the fuck? How do you not have Grant Gustafson make a cameo in that moment? What the hell? John Wesley Shipp, who was also the Flash in the 90s for one season, who was in the Flash with Grant Gustafson. How are they not shown in that? You could have used real life actors. Where was Brandon Routh as Superman? You could have shown him as Superman. What the fuck? Tom Welling. Put Tom Welling. He's doing his Smallville friggin' podcast with Michael Rosenbaum. He would have put a suit on too. I mean, you could have shown that. But you showed more CGI versions of things. Dean Cain. You could have put Dean Cain in there. So, questionable with that. The Henry Cavill CGI thing, oh my god. So those portions of the speed paradox kind of force thing that they were doing in his little speed bubble, interesting. The villain at the end of the day was the other Barry. We knew that. The Dark Flash, was that really a Dark Flash? I guess. Not really. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it was so cool to see what they did with Flash. The problem was you showed too much. You shouldn't have showed him do the tornado move. You shouldn't have showed him, the one thing they didn't show him doing all the phasing. Like, you saved that from the movie. That was cool. You didn't have to put this many goddamn trailers out. You didn't have to extend so much. You did it to yourselves. WB, Warner Brothers Discovery, Max, HBO Max, whatever the fuck you call yourselves. I don't know anymore. But even for all the other people out there, all the other tubers and critics and this and that, yo, y'all are the problem here. Don't forget that. The movie's fun. The movie's okay. I'll give this an okay rating. It's not cinematic mastery, imagery, or anything like that. The end credit scene made absolutely no fucking sense. Why were we watching Jason Momoa's Aquaman get drunk and Barry was walking him and then he goes to sleep in a puddle? Because I didn't even understand that. Why even have that? You, honestly, if you wanted this movie to do well, you should have just kept your ending. You should have just did what you did and just left it. Because it didn't matter. You're going the other way anyway, so it didn't matter. So just put the movie out. That's where I always question studios. But all in all, I'll give this movie a 7 out of 10, right? 7 out of 10. It's an average score. It's a summer movie. It's a summer movie. Any other aspects that I haven't covered? Like I said, I mean, like, you don't have to go over extensive in this. I mean, you saw at one point the Grayson's like little thing in the background that had something to do with obviously Dick Grayson. You know, action-wise, not bad. Sasha Kaye's Supergirl was good with the little action that it did. General Zod was a throw-in, you know, like the whole end battle scene with the color and all that. I still liked everything that was going on, how they couldn't win, and you saw all the different scenarios that they kept trying. Look, it was so cool to see a Flash movie. It really was. Do I care to bitch and moan about it like everybody else? No. I'm just giving you aspects of things. You know, so, hey, we're going to wrap this up because, honestly, what else do you want me to say about this? There shouldn't be much else. But I want you to drop some comments down there. If there's things that you didn't like, or things that you loved, things that you're in the middle about, maybe stuff that you wanted to see, let me know in the comments because I will go back and forth with you. Come on now. Anyway, don't forget to go hit that like. Go hit that subscribe. And become a part of the Irregular Nation, because why wouldn't you want to? Come take a ride on the Irregular side with this guy, with Hope Productions back there, with some toys. Alright everybody, catch you later. Cheers.